So, every year on February 14th, the world is flooded with roses, chocolates, heart-shaped cards, and promises of eternal love. It's a day marketed as gentle, romantic, and sweet. But what if I told you that Valentine's Day didn't begin with poetry or passion? What if its true origins are soaked in blood, sacrifice, sexual chaos, and ritual violence? Today, we're pulling back the pink curtain. This is the real origin of Valentine's Day. And it begins not with romance, but with ancient Rome's most disturbing fertility rite, Lupercalia. Long before Valentine's Day became a hallmark holiday, mid-February in Rome was reserved for Lupercalia, a pagan fertility festival held from February 13th to the 15th. Lupercalia was dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of fertility, agriculture, and animal instincts, and to Lupa, the she-wolf who, according to legend, nursed Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome. This is not a gentle celebration. It was chaotic, violent, and overtly sexual. The festival began at the Lupercal cave, believed to be where the she-wolf suckled Rome's founders. There, the priests, known as the Luperci, sacrificed goats, symbols of fertility and sexual potency, as well as dogs associated with purification and protection from evil spirits. Their blood was smeared across the foreheads of young men, then wiped away with wool soaked in milk, symbolizing death and rebirth. Already, we're far from chocolates and candlelight. After the sacrifices, the real spectacle began. The hides of the slaughtered goats, called februa, from which we get the word February, were cut into strips. The Luperci, often naked or nearly naked, would then run through the streets of Rome, whipping women with these blood-soaked hides. And here's the part that shocks modern listeners the most. Women, they wanted to be struck. Why? Well, because it was believed the ritual increased fertility, eased childbirth, and cured infertility. Elite Roman women, including those of noble families, would line up, willingly offer their hands and bodies to be struck. This was ritualized violence in the name of reproduction and cosmic balance. Lupercalia also included a sexual lottery system. Women's names were placed in a jar. Men would draw a name at random. The resulting pairings lasted for the duration of the festival, but often extended into full relationships or marriages. This wasn't romance as we understand it today. It was ritualized sexual pairing designed to encourage reproduction, passion, and social bonding without concern for modesty, exclusivity, or Christian morality. In many ways, Lupercalia represented controlled chaos, a temporary suspension of social order to renew life itself. So, how did this become Valentine's Day? Well, enter Saint Valentine, or rather Saint Valentine's. Historical records suggest at least 2, possibly even 3 men named Valentine were executed by Emperor Claudius II in the 3rd century AD. One popular legend claims that Valentine was a priest who secretly married couples. Claudius had banned marriages to keep young men focused on war. Valentine defied the state and was executed for it. Another version paints Valentine as a healer who converted pagans to Christianity. The truth? We really don't know. What we do know is that Valentine's story is fragmentary, symbolic, and heavily mythologized, making him a perfect figure to overlay onto an existing pagan festival. By the late 5th century, Christianity was struggling to erase deeply ingrained pagan traditions. Lupercalia was wildly popular and impossible to suppress. So, in 496 AD, Pope Gelasius I made a strategic move. Rather than banning Lupercalia, he rebranded it. February 14th was declared the Feast of St. Valentine, effectively absorbing the pagan festival into a Christian framework. The blood rituals disappeared, the sexual chaos was sanitized, and the fertility symbolism was spiritualized. But the timing remained, and so did the underlying themes of pairing, union, and reproduction. Valentine's Day didn't become a celebration of romantic love until over 1,000 years later. During the Middle Ages, poets began associating February with courtship. Geoffrey Chaucer wrote about birds choosing their mates on St. Valentine's Day. Shakespeare referenced it in Hamlet. These literary associations transformed Valentine's Day from a religious observance into a poetic symbol of love. By the 18th and 19th centuries, love letters became popular. Printed Valentine's Day cards emerged, and flowers, sweets, and sentimental language took over. The violent origins were buried beneath layers of romance. This pattern should feel familiar. A pagan ritual rooted in nature, focused on fertility and instinct, involving blood, sex, and symbolism, is absorbed, sanitized, and repackaged. Its meaning shifts, but its energetic core remains. Valentine's Day still revolves around pairing, desire, emotional bonding, and reproductive symbolism. Only now it's wrapped in lace instead of animal hides. So, the next time you see hearts and roses on February 14th, remember, this day wasn't born from innocence. It emerged from a world where love, sex, blood, and ritual were inseparable, where fertility was sacred, chaos was ceremonial, and the body was a gateway to the divine. Valentine's Day isn't just a celebration of love, it's a relic, a ghost of ancient Rome, still beating beneath the surface. So yeah, that's it for today's video. As always, I hope you found it entertaining, enlightening, or in some way beneficial. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with a friend or two. All right, everyone, take care. Peace.